Hello everyone, so nice to see you again. Welcome back at Rock Railways. Today we're going to look at none other than the LMS locomotive that is a 440 wheel arrangement and which is of the class 2P steam locomotives. So let's get ready to have a look at this loco. Here you have it on the round table with its box, as you can see. And if you hold the box up like this, you'll see it is model number R2099A LMS 440 wheel arrangement class 2P locomotive 579 by Hornby. Now, I've purchased this locomotive secondhand, and if you look at the box here, you will notice that the box is a little bit tatty. So obviously the locomotive has been played with, but I'm very happy with the overall condition of this locomotive, and I'm really fortunate to have it on my layout as part of my collection. So when we look at the locomotive in general, you can see the paintwork and the naming of the locomotive and numbering is nicely done, definitely. And I like the red outline of the locomotive that's featured there and this unique style of this 579 locomotive. Now, as with everything, you cannot hide away from dust, and as everyone is aware, my locomotive is in my layout in my garage, so I can clean every day. It doesn't help. It's very dry at the moment, so we haven't really had much rain lately, so please excuse the dusty little loco. But nevertheless, it's a unique loco to present to you. It is indeed a very unique style of steam locomotive, and I just love the authenticness of it, and it looks like Hornby has captured this definitely once again with this locomotive. Simple finishes of the brakes, wheels and the bogies, as well as the brake vacuum pipes and the handles all around the locomotive and the handrails, unique little finishes that are really present. The cab is not really painted, but that is something that I can look past because this is a great little loco and it's such a great performer on the layout. I was quite surprised. And this locomotive is obviously joined to the tender, and obviously I believe it is tender driven, so I'm not too sure. But moving on, it does not feature buffers, sprung buffers, but just regular buffers, but I'm happy with that. And the coal finish seemed to be okay, and as with all locomotives of Hornby. And now if we zoom in on the lettering and the badge on the locomotive, as we'll see here as I'm zooming in, you'll see the badge says LMS 1928 and built in Derby. So I added some of my Riley 1956 pathfinders here, just as a authenticness and just great layout with great vehicles and everything on the layout. But yeah, overall it's just a great locomotive, like I said, and absolutely amazing on the layout. And just to go over the features of this locomotive once again, from the front to the rear, and here in the middle with the whistle and valves, all the finishes are there and what you would expect from this locomotive. And then the numbering and the redlining, as well as all running through all the way to the tender. The finish is really great, and it does complement this locomotive. And even the smoke box has got some paintwork done and a rail for the door handle, and if you're looking at the cab, you'll see the glass windows. So further information by Hornby. So just that model number again. This is the locomotive R2099A, the model by Hornby. So now these locomotives are also known as the Class 2P locomotives. So the builders were Derby Works and Crew Works, and the amount of locomotives, the quantity of locomotives built in Derby Works were 98 units, and Crew Works were 40 units, and these units were built between 1928 and 1932, so a total of these locomotives produced were 138. So locomotive 577 all the way through to 579 were built at Derby Works. Locomotive 633 and locomotive 653 were fitted with the Derby feed water heater in 1933. Numbers 591 and 639 were withdrawn in 1934 after being heavily damaged in an accident at Port Eglinton Junction near Cumberland Street Station, Glasgow, on 6 September of the same year. Now, the London Midland and Scottish Railway Class 2P 440 was a class of steam locomotive designed for light passenger work. The class was introduced in 1928 and was a post-grouping development of Midland Railway 483 class with modified dimensions and reduced boiler mountings. The numbering continued where the Midland engines left off at 563 and eventually reached 700. 138 units were built. Through numbering is slightly complicated by renumberings and transfers of the era. So after nationalisation in 1948, British Railways added 40,000 to the numbers of the remaining 136 engines. The first withdrawals came between 1954 and 1962 and all were scrapped. Once again, thank you everyone for your time and thanks for making it over to Taraka Railways to have a quick squiz out at what I've got to offer you today. So I hope you enjoyed it like I did, and if you want to see more content, you're more than welcome to subscribe and keep that thumbs up, and let's see what's next at Taraka Railways. Please also don't forget there's a lot of other videos to check out on my channel, so while you're over here, please have a look at everything from a model railway, layout, village, vehicles, animals, people, to steam locomotives, closed wagons, and so much more. So once again, thanks for joining me, and you all take care, and I'll catch you again. Take care. Bye.